Stamping friends, it's Sherry Parker. Happy Monday, happy President's Day. For those of you who are off work today, I hope you had a great day. It was beautiful here in Ohio, sunny, a little chilly, but hey, we'll take it. Sun was shining. So for those of you who had to work, sorry about that. I was fortunate to have the day off and I was able to spend some time with my granddaughter today, so that was fun. And that's why I'm coming to you on Monday at a kind of a different time for me. And Wednesday I'm not available, so I thought I'd hop on here tonight and show you a real cute, simple card idea. Yesterday I had a class here. It was a simple card Stamp-A-Stack, and everyone made 10 cards. There were 5 designs, so they made 2 of each. And I will show you those here in a second, but just goes to show you that you don't have to spend a lot of time and effort and brain power coming up with some complicated card for it to be cute. So I wanted to share this with you, this idea. It's kind of a little formula, if you will, just to make a really cute card and minimal supplies, time, and effort. So I hope you'll enjoy it. One thing before I turn the camera over is today is February 19th, so we have 10 days left for celebration. So for those of you, I know I keep talking about it every week, it's a great time if you need any cardstock or other supplies. Stock up now, because for every $50 you spend, you get a free celebration item. So that's what I tend to do. I try to just think of all the things that I might need in the next few months, get it now, and then get some freebies in the process. So, okay, I think that was really all I wanted to mention, and then I'll turn the camera over here and we'll get started. And I hope you enjoyed these cards. So, thanks. All right. So yesterday, as I mentioned, we had a card class here, and very super simple, where you make a card with this very simple formula. So you have a 3x3 piece of designer series paper here, layered on a white piece here, and then just a coordinating color, whatever happens to be in the designer series paper, and then layered onto a card. The only embellishments are, there's a ribbon, maybe a couple little rhinestones or dots or something, and then one greeting. So it doesn't get much simpler than that. Hey Ruth, glad you could join. So this is one of the cards we made using the lavender designer series paper. We also used the Be Mine designer series paper and made this card. This is featured with Valentine's Day stuff, but just shows you that you don't have to make it Valentine's Day. I just made it a real simple friends card. So I thought that was really cute. And this card right here, using this real elegant designer series paper that is in our mini catalog for the spring, and made, you know, wedding card, anniversary card, and just spruced it up with some gold embellishments, and you're good to go. And then we also used 2 designer series papers that are in the celebration catalog that I just mentioned. So that means they'd be free with $50 order. So this is one of the papers here. And again, the same construction as the other ones I just showed you. And then last but not least, we did one using the tool paper. And since this one was a masked feeling card, we did not use the ribbon. Did an extra layer of cardstock, but used those really cute cork embellishments. So that just shows you what a simple design can do. You can create all kinds of different cards, and it doesn't have to be complicated. So tonight we're going to do something in the same formula, and I hope you'll enjoy these cards. So these are the cards that we're going to make right here. Hi Gerald, thank you for joining. And you'll see, again, very simple, but, and you could always add to it if you wanted, but I just wanted to show you how you can create something really beautiful and it doesn't have to be complicated. So first we're going to take, for these cards, this is the Lighter Than Air designer series paper. It's a 6x6 pack of paper, and there's a lot of really cute designs. I've shown you some, I think, using the hot air balloon, some other polka dots and things. But there is this really pretty stripe page that has a lot of colors in it. And then on the reverse side is this blue It's the balmy blue and just white. So that's what we're going to use tonight. And so we're going to take our 6x6 piece of paper. And so from one 6x6, you could potentially make 4 cards because we're just simply cutting it into 3x3 squares. Okay, and so in case you're wanting the measurements, I have them over here. So for these cards, we've got the Designer Series paper that's 3x3. We have the white or vanilla backer piece that measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Then it's layered onto a piece of colored cardstock that's 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then the card base, which is your normal 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So I'll have these over to the side just in case you wanted to jot down the measurements. It's pretty straightforward, and all these cards use the same, formula. So I'm going to take the Designer Series paper and I'm going to cut it in half. So for a 12 by 12 piece, you would just cut off 3-inch strips, and you could potentially make 16 cards from a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So I've got my 2 squares, and we're going to use those to make the cards tonight. I'll set that aside. So for the first one, I decided to pull from the Designer Series paper. I know I mention this, every time, but one, great little thing here that Stampin' Up! Does is they tell you all of the colors that are in each of the Designer Series papers. So it makes it really easy to make a card. So what I did is I just pulled colors from that list. Hey, Georgine. And I picked out Flirty Flamingo and the Petal Pink for the first card here. So very simply, now in this particular case, because I am going to have my greeting here, before I glue this down, I'm going to just go ahead and stamp. I'm going to place the paper there and then I'll stamp it in case I stamp it crooked, which, I do that regularly. Then that way it gives me a little flexibility. I can turn it over. If you tape it or glue it down ahead of time, that, you'd have to basically tear it off. So I'm using the Flirty Flamingo ink, so it should coordinate pretty nicely with this background paper here. And the stamp, I think this is a really pretty stamp. So again, another celebration item. This is the Softly Sophisticated stamp set. It's free with an embossing folder and the stamps that come with a $100 order. But I think these are really beautiful greetings. Plus the flowers themselves are really cute too. So that's the greeting I'm using. And stamped, I really appreciate you. And I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down to the white piece. So again, this works for any Designer Series paper. That's what's so great about it. And then I'm going to layer this piece again. And here's the measurements in case you were wondering. I'm going to layer it onto the Flirty Flamingo. And as I mentioned, all of these were constructed in the same way. So all of them have ribbon. So for this particular one, I selected, this is the ribbon duo combo that's in the big catalog. There's this pink, which is the petal pink, and then a green that come with this combination ribbon. So that is in the main catalog. So it's available, through the whole catalog here. So I will go ahead and just tie a little piece of ribbon around like so. And what's really fun about this is you can experiment and have fun with it and really use up your paper, because we buy packs and packs of paper and then use some, of course, but then there's always some left over. So why not take 3x3 pieces and turn them into cards? So there you go. That's the front of the card. I'm going to add a couple embellishments here. I selected the rainbow dots that are in that Spring Mini catalog because these colors coordinate with the colors that are in the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and take off, one of the Flirty Flamingo little dots there, and maybe one of these peach ones. You could get crazy. You could put a whole bunch on. And there's the front of the card. And then again, it's Very simple. All I'm doing to adhere it to the front of the card is just putting a Stampin' Dimensional in each corner. Yes, this is very easy, Georgine. And I think there's times when, you know, for example, if you need thank you notes or, you know, just more than just a card, you know, it's really nice to be able to create something and not have to spend, you know, a ton of time creating something. So there you go. And so it's just adhered with the dimensional. So that is the first card. Then the other little piece, so the other side of this paper is the blue. And at first I was thinking, oh, I can make like a little baby card. So I did, I made a baby card, just welcome little one. I feel like it needed maybe a little something. I probably normally would put something there like something babyish. So I thought maybe this would be a nice thinking of you card, because sometimes, you know, you just want somebody to know that you're thinking about them, and there doesn't have to be a lot of bells and whistles. You just want them to know that you care about them. So I'm going to do the same process here. I will glue the square on here. And of course I should have stamped it first, right? Because I said that last time. But I'm going to use the Azure Afternoon, and this is the Thinking of You stamp that comes from this really pretty stamp set that you might be familiar with. Just a lot of really pretty greetings. So I'm just using the Thinking of You with the Azure Afternoon ink. And then we'll go ahead and glue that to the Azure Afternoon cardstock. So this is really fun, and I would challenge you, oops, don't drop it like I just did. It's okay, because you can always turn it over, right? So I always do stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna wipe that off because I just got glue all over. The nice thing about this glass mat is that everything wipes right off. It makes it really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and use, the ribbon I picked for this one is from the Sheer Ribbon Duo, or the Sheer Ribbon Trio, sorry. So there's 3 different colors that come in this one, and there is actually Azure Afternoon in this particular pack. And it has a little bit of silver on the edge, which I like too. Make sure I have the silver facing out. Yeah, these are really simple, Ruth. I mean, I love to do fun folds and other things. It's always fun to think outside the box and, you know, what could I create that's a little bit different? And, but it is also really fun to do something that's simple. And I think what I'll do next is go ahead and put a dot or 2. This same pack has the Azure Afternoon dots. It also has some light blue ones as well. And then we'll go ahead and adhere it to the Balmy Blue card base. And we'll use Stampin' Dimensionals. Again, this one's a little messy because I dropped it and the glue's kind of everywhere. But once it's raised off the card, it's fine because it'll be sticking out just a little bit with these Stampin' Dimensionals. So, there you go. So very simple. I got a little smudge on it, but that's okay. So that's it. And I did kind of want to show you one other thing. So you might have seen in my dimensions here, you might have seen this piece of Designer Series paper and not realized what this was, or maybe it's just not familiar to you. So I thought it'd be fun to show you a little bit of what's coming. So we have some online exclusives that are coming in March. So what I did is I decided to showcase this paper. It's same format of card, right? I didn't do anything differently than what I just showed you, but the paper itself is so gorgeous and it's so detailed that you really don't need to add anything else because the paper is gorgeous. Yes, this is a sneak peek. And I wanted to mention it because Stampin' Up! You might have heard me talk about online exclusives before. And if you go to my website, which is sherrythomas.stampinup.net, and if you go into the upper left-hand corner, there's a drop-down where you can see different things. And one of them is online exclusives. So what online exclusives means, what that means is that you can see products that are not available in a printed catalog. So they're not going to be in this catalog, the mini catalog, they're not in the big catalog, but you don't have to order them online. You can, when they're available, you can order them directly, or you can order from me. You can email me or whatever. So you can order the same way. It's just that they're not in a printed catalog, but they're still available. And the cool thing about it is that it gives Stampin' Up! The ability to add stuff all the time. So they're not just locked into some catalog that has a, start date and an end date. This is an ongoing thing. So think about when you're shopping for, maybe a dress online, you go to the store, you don't see anything, but then you go to the website and you see all kinds of additional things. It's the same idea. So think of it as an enhancement. So I was super excited when I saw some of the new stuff coming out is just gorgeous. And this Zinnia suite is beautiful. So the paper, I showed you a little sneak peek there, but there's also there's some pretty sequins, an embossing folder, stamp set, die cuts, and then of course this gorgeous paper. The paper is beautiful. I'll probably do a class, I'm thinking in March. This will be available in March. So just stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when it is available for you to actually go online and see and order the things. So, but I did want to give you a sneak peek of that because it is really, it's the way of the future and it's the way Stampin' Up! Will be moving. So I wanted you to at least understand kind of the concept there and to get comfortable with going online and just checking because there will be some things in there that you may not, have seen in the books. All right. So last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. I failed to draw a name until just a few minutes ago for last week's project. We did this little, you remember, we did the little box where we embossed it and then used sponge stoppers and colored it. So I did draw a name and that was Yvonne. And so Yvonne, I will be mailing this to you. I'll be reaching out for your address. So you were the winner for last week. And for this week's cards, I will be doing the same thing. If you comment or share this video, then your name will be eligible to win the cards and I'll mail them to you. So Susie and I have Stamp Camp this weekend. I'm really excited. Can't wait. I know some of you will be there in person and I look forward to seeing you. For those of you who can't make it, please continue tuning in. I will have other classes from time to time and hope to see you sometime soon. So enjoy the rest of this President's Day. Have a great week and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.